Hello and welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
And I'm Sean. This is one big sigh, huh?
Here we are doing the comic book podcast.
I know. Oh, yeah, no. We're actually doing this like the day before it comes out.
We've been very busy,
and it'll come out during the day tomorrow. So I apologize.
Yes. Sorry.
I always the reason why I talk about this stuff is because I'm such a stickler for episodes coming out at midnight and being available like immediately for people when they should, like in the morning, so people can listen to them on their commutes and stuff. And I get it. I get the routine. So I get it. It does frustrate me when I'm unable to do that, but we've, normally we tape on the weekends and things have been busy. So
yeah.
What do we do this weekend?
I don't even know. Oh, yes, I do. We went to Casa Bonita.
Oh, yeah.
Which is an actual place in Colorado.
Yes.
It is a restaurant, which I think we've talked about on this podcast.
I'm pretty certain we've talked about before, yeah.
Apparently, they supposedly remodeled it, and my father was like, my dad loves shit like this, so he was like, oh, I want to go to Casa Bonita. Food is garbage. But he really wants to go because he loves theme restaurants. So I was like, fine. So we went to Casa Bonita, and they did not remodel. It looks exactly the same as it did when I was a child.
That was a whole crock of shit.
I was like, okay,
a crock of shit.
The same. And the food was, it wasn't as bad as I remember it being. So maybe they improved, but that was about it. We went to Casa Bonita. And then...
Oh, I went to a SWAT meet.
Oh, that's right. And then we went to...
Oh, you went... That's right. You were with me.
I went with you. Then the next day, we went to this barcade. Yeah. That it's called the One-Up. Because they're all called the One-Up.
I think that's the only name you can have for a barcade.
I know, because we used to go to the one in LA, but it's not even the same chain. They're just both called the One-Up. But there's this place called the One Up, and it just opened closer to us, and it's this really cool barcade and has tons of pinball machines, which I love because I really like pinball.
Yeah.
Skee ball, just, video games, all sorts of fun stuff. And they had like a little swap meet where you could get games.
Yeah, they had a thing. I think that's the Denver Retro Gamers group on Facebook is a group that I am a part of, and I was like... they were like, "Oh, we're getting together," and I thought it was a thing where it's like, "Oh, swap me." It's like you better bring something for us to be like, "Hey, can I give you this book game for this game?"
Nope.
And really, it's more about like, "Hey, I'll swap you a game if you swap me cash."
Like the way our economic system tends to work.
Yeah, like regular old capitalism going on or bartering with money. I was like, "I'll give you money." So I decided, I wanted to go because I just wanted to see what would be there. And
yeah. So, but you did get a game. You got a Spider-Man game.
I got Spider-Man and X-Men in, was it like Arcade's Revenge?
Sure.
Which the game sucks.
Oh.
It's well, I knew it sucked, but I've always wanted to play it. I've always wanted to have it. I got it for $5. I can't really say that I didn't get my money's worth because I totally did.
Yeah.
And I got that for SNES and. Yeah, if I have more patience, I will probably, have a better time with it. But, as it stands right now, I'm not really, it's not a good game.
Yeah, because we went and it was all set up in this little barcade. The problem is there were a ton of tables and it was really narrow.
Yeah.
And there were, people trying to play games and whatever. So you kind of had to like squeeze by stuff. And I saw, as we were walking in, a sign for $1 mimosas, and I'm not going to say no to that. So I didn't want to, like, stand there.
That's how they keep you.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to, like, stand over all these games with my mimosa, So I was like, I'll just sit at the bar. So I just sat at the bar and drank mimosas while Sean hung out at the game table. It was a good time, actually.
Yeah, and, I got to meet the owner who...
Well, it wasn't the owner. It was one of the managers.
Oh, that's right. It's the manager, yeah.
Because there's if you go on Sean's Instagram, you can see it. This place has some really cool decor, but behind the bar is a giant collection of wrestling figures.
Yeah. Well, there's just a lot of...
So when we went in there the first time, we went up to the bar to get a drink, and Sean was like, who put those there? And they were like, oh, one of our managers. Well, he was there, so Sean made friends.
Yeah, made friends.
Talking about wrestling.
It was
also on Sunday, the Royal Rumble.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this guy was cool. Our
whole day was planned around going to watch the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. No, this guy was like, I was talking to him, was like, I think he was like maybe our age, maybe a little bit older.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I actually went to WrestleMania 3.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, oh man, I've never met a person.
Oh, they were having a good time.
Or whatever. But yeah, he was hip.
Yeah,
and
cool
we'll hopefully we'll get to break bread with him again at some point soon. But Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble was a thing. It was 1 million hours long. Because we were watching it, and like literally in the middle of the women's rumble, it dawned on me that there was more wrestling after
a lot more wrestling.
The end. I was like, we have a whole nother rumble, and Sean was like, we have a whole more 3 matches. I was like, what the fuck? It never ended.
It's still going on.
It's still happening right now. I don't understand why it was so long. So that was that. We did get to watch the Birds of Prey Harley Quinn teaser thing that came out.
It literally is just like a
it's 20 seconds long.
It's like a CW commercial or something.
It really is like a CW commercial, and I'm really grateful for the people on the internet who have the time to go second by second and do screen caps so I don't have to watch that damn thing again.
Oh, did somebody do that?
Yeah, somebody did. Because I was like, who the fuck am I even supposed to be looking at? Because everything went by so quickly, I could barely tell who I was supposed to be looking at. But they did on IO9. So I guess Cassandra Cain was there. Huntress was there. Black Canary was there. Black Mask was there. Victor Zsasz was there.
Oh, was there Zsasz?
Yeah. There's a couple other people I'm not remembering off the top of my head. So yeah, but it all went by so quickly that I'm like, I couldn't even tell who these people were. Yeah. And even the screen caps they took are really shitty. Like, they're all kind of filmed at a distance.
Yeah.
Like they should have put the camera closer or something zoomed in.
Oh, you mean like the person actually taking a picture of the screen?
No. I mean like the actual way it was filmed.
Oh, yeah.
They're like too far away from the camera for you to really get a good look at them. And a lot of times it's just pretty much from like the shoulders up so you can only see their head. Like the Huntress one, she's pointing her crossbow at the thing, so it blocks most of her face.
Well, I'm sure that's probably intentional.
I know, but I'm like, what does she even look like? What am I looking at? Like, everything's just black and gray, kind of, and I can't tell what she's wearing, and I don't know. So, well, I mean, sure.
Ready for that
except I could tell that Harley Quinn was wearing a jacket one would wear to Coachella.
Yeah, she definitely looked like she was going to a
music festival. So that was that. But then, as we were talking 18 entire minutes ago, this was posted by the AV Club. Would you like me to share it with you?
Oh, you haven't told me yet?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Ben Affleck finally achieves lifelong dream of not having to play Batman anymore.
Oh, I saw that.
Oh, man.
Well, I thought that was a given, though.
Well, apparently it has finally been approved.
Okay.
But, like, officially
wasn't it the whole thing with fucking Batman or with Justice League, and it was just like, oh, this is it for him.
Well,
he's not doing this anymore. That's what they kept saying,
but I guess it wasn't confirmed, but it's been confirmed now. So Matt Reeves' The Batman, which is coming in 2021, will feature a younger Bruce Wayne who is not Ben Affleck.
Oh, do you think John Hamm will finally get the...
I don't know. Is John Hamm younger than Ben Affleck? I don't think so. Unless they do that creepy CGI where they like de-age him or something.
Oh man, yeah.
Which always creeps me the fuck out.
Just him walking around with a weird CGI face. Mm-hmm. Weird Paul Walker face.
Yeah, that's always upsetting.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, great. Let's reboot Batman again. Thank you.
Yeah, well, apparently they have not announced who the young Batman will be.
Well, yeah, they're still... because they don't know. They won't know.
Everybody's like, how about that kid from Gotham? And I'm like, I think he's too young, but okay.
If that kid from Gotham is going to play Batman, fucking give him all the steroids.
The kid, how old is that kid?
I don't know, whatever. Is he 16? 15, 18? Is he 18 yet?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I mean, I could look it up, but I don't really care.
Wasn't he like 10 like a year ago?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think he was just a fetus yesterday.
He was just... Yeah.
This Gotham star's a fetus. Honestly, for that show, that wouldn't be that weird.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was like Gotham Bat Fetus, and it's like, what?
Bat fetus?
Yeah, I figured it, because that show's weird, and I'm glad it's over.
Everybody is.
God, that's a show that we were like, I think we've been doing this podcast as long as that show has been on.
Oh, that's probably true.
And we've probably have talked about it. And, had a number of discussions about that. Well, obviously we have, but we kind of just fell off. We fell off with all those shows.
I think, we still really need to get the
DC app.
The DC app so we can, I'd like to see the Titans show. There's a bunch of shit on there I'd like to watch.
Yeah, no, I want to see, just have access to those movies and stuff like that. I just, it's a matter of just, making sure that, I actually watch it because, I mean, shit, I got WWE Network and I don't watch that nearly as much as I could.
That's true.
You know what I mean? I have it on all these different platforms, and I just don't have the time or the desire to constantly watch it as much. If anything, I think I watch the most of, I watch YouTube the most because I could just find something to watch on there.
Oh, so I also am just finding on the internet.
Oh, is there more breaking news?
Well, I don't know if this is breaking news, but I just saw it posted by our buddy Nick Prom.
Oh, okay.
Chimera's Comics win a comic book store.
Wait, what?
Yeah, win a local comic shop.
Chimera's Comics?
Chimera's Comics. Apparently it's in Chicago.
Oh.
Have you ever wanted to own your own comic book store? Sure. Can I put a coffee shop in it? What if I told you I am going to give away an entire comic book store. Contest begins in 1 day, 14 hours, 2 minutes, and 16 seconds.
I don't trust it.
Let's see.
This sounds like the Fire Festival to me.
Let me... Oh, shit. Is anybody going to suck somebody's dick for water? I really need bottles of water for the people standing outside of this comic book store. Somebody suck his dick.
Jesus Christ. What a farce.
Okay, hold on. The owner says he's giving it away because he can no longer give it the attention he deserves. And because I'm spread thin between my duties as an attorney.
What do you mean?
And the publishing arm of Chimera Comics.
Just hire somebody to fucking do it for you.
So he wants somebody who will love it, someone with passion and ideas and ambition to make the store amazing. Is this you?
Well, it can't be me because I don't live in Chicago.
All you have to do is apply. There will be a small application fee, no word on how much it is, and you will have no more than 500 words to answer one question. What makes a great comic book store? I will choose the best answer, and I will give that person a chance to live their dream. It is not a raffle, not a drawing or a lottery. It is entire merit-based, and I will decide the winner in my sole and absolute discretion.
Oh, great.
So he wants 2,000 applications. So there's a deadline.
When's the deadline?
February 28th.
I don't know. Should I send something in?
I mean, why not?
Just be like, hey, can you I want a coffee shop and I want $1 comics. And
what makes this
I
great?
want a big pile of action figures, loose figures.
A big pile of action figures.
Yeah, here's the thing. If I wanted an actual comic book shop, look, we've been to enough and we kind of know things that we want when we go to these places. And I don't think it's anything that other people want.
I don't know. People might.
Because basically, if you have a comic book shop, you have... Okay, you got your new comics.
Uh-huh.
You have...
Your graphic novels.
You have...
But you want to make sure you have a nice mix of, superhero shit, but also some indie goodness.
Right.
With the classics thrown in there. Right.
You should have... Basically, every comic book store should have a good mix of newly distributed comic books from mainstream to independent.
Yeah. And just some local shit.
And some local stuff if you could swing it. You should have a hearty selection of back issues.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have those.
Reasonably priced. too. Don't.
Looking at you, Mile High.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of, hey, I'll tell you what. You know, the book that we got.
They've got some good stuff at Mile High, but I will say sometimes you'll look at some of the shit they have there and go, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Well, that's how it is with their action figure. Their action figures. I look at their action figures and I'm like,
no.
I would love to pick some of these up, but why are you selling these for this much? Because I'm certain that they are much cheaper on eBay.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, this romance comic that literally nobody but me would ever want is $440. Not graded, nothing. It's not even in that good of condition. It cannot be worth $440.
Yeah, I don't understand that whole thing where they're like, we're going to sell these comics.
If you told me it was worth $75, I'd be like, cool. But nobody cares about this comic. It's not like it's a first appearance. It's not a well-known brand. It's not a writer anybody knows. Nothing. It's just, it's a romance comic from like the 60s. Therefore, it costs $440.
Yeah, it's.
And I'm like, no, it doesn't.
It's that
No,
expensive.
it doesn't.
It's that expensive because it exists from a certain era. That's why it costs that much. But that I feel like that's what it is. But anyways, reasonably priced back issues, a good selection of action figures, both new and some vintage.
Yeah.
Not a lot of places do always the old school vintage stuff, but if you could swing it, not every place can do that. But definitely a good helping of dollar comics.
Yeah.
Um,
That's replenished frequently.
and easily replenished dollar comics. I don't think I'm going to have any gaming stuff in my store. That's just not my. I think there's other stores that would do it better. But here's what I would also like. I would also like a section for a place for people to go and just sit down and read comics.
See, that's what I would like as well. And that's the thing. That's the one thing I like about the places that do have the gaming stuff is you have a place you can sit. But I don't really have an interest in having like the gaming shit.
Yeah.
You know. But then the other thing is then I would have to deal with people.
You know, as long as they're not jerks.
That's the thing.
That would be my first rules. Don't be a jerk.
I'd have a sign on the door that says don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a dick.
Like, if you're a dick, you're going to get kicked out.
You know, but just, I don't know. I mean, we're very bare bones, but I think it's one of the things where when I walk into a store and they just sell everything, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no chance of you getting something for a reasonable price.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing.
Because I think they have to turn a profit.
You have to turn a profit.
I understand, especially if you're in like a high rent area or whatever. But
that's also depending on like when you think about this store.
Yeah, like how much, like where exactly is it? Like
what's the foot traffic like?
Foot traffic.
What's the parking like?
Oh, parking's a big deal.
Parking's a big deal.
Public transportation. Like, are you near public transportation?
Yeah, because it was like.
Are you in the middle of fucking nowhere? No one can ever come see you.
Well, I'll use two examples from Los Angeles.
Yes.
Comic Bug.
The Comic Bug. Great store, shitty ass place to find parking.
Really?
Well,
I was actually going to give them props because.
Really?
Because you can park on the side streets.
Okay, granted, that is true.
You can park on the street if you want. The only reason I was
going to say shitty ass place to find parking is because it depends on when you go. You usually should not park in front of the street unless you want to feed the meter. Nobody wants to do that. Parking on a side street, usually okay as long as there's not a holiday or something coming up.
Right.
Because there is a Trader Joe's on that block that has a park. Of course, all Trader Joe's have like tiny ass fucking parking lots for no reason.
Well, I gotta say
it's super crowded. So if you're gonna go on like a Thanksgiving-ish type of holiday, like close to Thanksgiving, fucking forget it.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this much: California parking lots in general are just dick dances.
Oh yeah.
So in a lot of those places, like Jeffrey's, excellent store, but
awful parking.
Awful parking because you got to squeeze your ass into that parking lot, and especially if you're going for like one of their big sales.
Yeah.
How are you?
I find parking on the street there easier.
Well, it depends.
Because you can just park like on the big main drag.
If there's spots though.
If there's spots.
There's places.
Usually there is.
But there's places like say like a Heidi Ho's where it's like, I want to
Santa Monica.
Santa Monica.
Fuck that, dude.
Fucking forget it.
Yeah.
What do who
are we kidding here?
Who are you kidding? You ain't gonna go nowhere. But I'm trying to think because there's like a lot of comic book stores. A lot of them are in like strip malls.
Mm-hmm.
So usually, depending on the day or whatever, you're doing okay and you can just park in a strip mall. But I don't know. It depends. If you especially if there's public transportation, like I found at least in New York when I did go there a couple of years ago, using public transportation to get around to those things, it's kind of overrated.
Oh, well, yeah, but I mean...
Because it's public transport, because you're talking like subways and shit.
Yeah, it's public transportation, but you live in New York. Like, you're not going to own a car. You live in New York, unless you're crazy.
But it was, and also...
Like New York proper.
And those places are kind of, at least in New York stores, I felt were, at least the Midtown Comics, was kind of claustrophobic.
Oh, I do, yeah, I went to Midtown Comics before that place. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's too crowded.
But that's definitely a big factor, and also...
That's a factor. Yeah, the other thing for me that would be a factor is, like... How big is it? Could I actually feasibly put somewhere for people to sit? Because I want that too. I want somewhere where people can sit. I would love actually to have a place, if I was going to have a comic book store, besides all the stuff you mentioned, I would actually like to be able to have my little coffee area. Mm-hmm. So like, even if it's a little, buying sodas and stuff, I'd like to have somewhere where you could buy coffee. Yeah. Would love an espresso machine so I can make espresso and stuff like that. And sell coffee, donuts, bagels, all that sort of shit, little sandwiches. And then also, where you sit and read comics, you could also have a breakout performance space.
Yeah,
so you could have an open mic night. You could do a movie night if you just had a big enough wall or got one of those pop-up screens or something. Something cool like that. So it could actually be a place for people to go.
Yeah. No, you want something for people to get together and have something fun to do and just have the space to do that.
I'd love it. Like in October, I'd be like, we're doing horror movie marathons.
Yeah. No, I mean,
like every Friday night, we're going to do a horror movie in October. Like, how fucking cool would that be?
There's that place in Fort Collins that's sort of kind of doing that stuff. And I think that's pretty cool. You could just have a space where you can be like, well, we're going to show a movie. You want to have those options,
Yeah.
You don't, and I mean, it doesn't have to be that big.
No, it doesn't have to be that big, but I want it to be big enough that people can not feel like they're crowded.
Yeah.
If they come to watch a movie or
you definitely don't want it to be
whatever.
You don't want, especially if you're in a spot where people are going to be coming to your store a lot. You want to make sure that you have enough room, especially if you're going to do like sales in a parking lot too.
Yeah.
I think Earth 2 always did a pretty good job with that.
Yeah, because they put it out back. That was smart.
And then Heidi Ho's did a good job because they would do theirs out back too. But Jeffrey's would always just be like, here's 3 comic book boxes.
It sucked because it was in the shitty parking lot that they have because it's the only space they have. I mean, what are you going to do? But there's a McDonald's in that parking lot. There's a Domino's in that parking lot. There's a GameStop in that parking lot. And you're like, so people are just trying to find parking and there's cars and then it's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Yeah. So those are things to keep in mind. And I don't know if those are, if I wrote an essay to explain all that.
It's going to be way longer than 500 words. It's just going to be Sean ranting about parking lots. 500 words ain't
a lot of words.
It's going to be Sean ranting about parking lots.
Just be like, hey.
Also, here's the other thing. If we won the comic book store, we'd have to move. And I'm like, we just moved. Yeah. I don't, in July, I don't want to do it again anytime soon.
I don't want to own a comic book store that's not near me.
I know.
I want to, if anything, I want to live in the comic book store.
Yeah, I actually would love that. If I lived in one of those, I lived above the comic book store.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You're fucking speaking my language right now. That's
Go downstairs. Awesome. You get yourself a coffee from your coffee bar.
Yeah.
You open up the store. Your regulars come in.
Exactly, because I'd roll out of fucking bed and just be like, all right, time to go downstairs and open up the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
Maybe make a few sandwiches.
Yeah, hang out.
Yeah, no, I got.
Be able to let the cat come downstairs to be the comic book store cat, and then let him come upstairs at night.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Harley would have a good time.
He would.
I don't think Leah would enjoy it so much.
No, she doesn't like people. She like me.
But yeah, well, I guess that's interesting though. That's an interesting thing. I'd be curious.
Maybe somebody will enter and win. Maybe Nick Prom will win it. That'd be great.
Well, Nick Prom's got the same problem because he doesn't live anywhere near Chicago.
I don't know. Maybe he's more open to moving.
Oh.
I just moved. I hate moving.
Yeah, I know.
I hate packing.
I hate moving.
I hate boxes.
I hate traveling in general. I really do.
Let's just complain about shit. We're old.
All right. Well, I think we've complained enough.
Yes, we have.
Let's take a break and we'll come back with our book for this week.
It's midnight, the podcasting hour. Hello, listeners. It's your friend, PJ Frightful. That's PJ as in podcast jockey. And I'm dropping dreadful new episodes every 2 weeks. When the clock strikes midnight, the podcasting hour shines a candle on the dark corners of DC Comics. Those supernatural sagas of Swamp Thing, Deadman, The Spectre, and more. The Podcasting Hour. It's a rotating anthology series boasting the terrifying talents of Ryan Daly, Rob Kelly, Paul Hicks, Ben Avery, Doug Zawisza, and other unfortunate souls. Prepare for the unexpected, open a doorway to nightmare, and enter the houses of mystery and secrets. The moon is full, and the dark spirits are rising. For it's midnight, the Podcasting Hour. Coming this Halloween, part of the Fire and Water Podcast Network. Beware.
All right, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever with our book for this week. It is Power Lords #1 from December 1983. This is a DC Comics book, and it is based on the Power Lords comic book line of action, or sorry, not comic book line, is a miniseries based on the Power Lords action figure line. So do you know anything about the Power Lords toy line?
No.
Are you familiar with these things?
I am not. I do not remember this now.
So I actually have in my hand right now.
Let me see.
This is young Adam Power right here.
Yep, this looks like the comic book. Ah, no, it's a nightmare. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus, why? It has two. Oh, my God, no. It should not be. It's. Oh, my God.
Did you not notice that?
I kind of saw it, but I thought it was like a swap thing. And then I realized that it's just one long head.
So, okay, so let's explain here. So, Adam
Hold on,
Power.
I have to look at this thing. Oh my
So
God.
basically what's going on here is
But
that...
his feet are backwards on one side.
So...
Oh, no. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, here, let me show you how this works.
I get it.
He has an action feature. So when you...
So he has a front butt.
He has a gunt that when you press the button above his waist, he goes... and then he turns back into, his Power Lord.
Where did you get this nightmare?
I got it off eBay.
Why did you buy this?
Because I wanted it.
It's so horrifying. Okay.
Well, he's got this gunt.
Well, that's the problem because he's got one head. But the problem is instead of a back of a head, it's another face.
Yes.
So he's got two faces, and it just looks like I can't even explain it.
He has two faces and two chests.
Yeah, but only one front crotch and one butt. So there's always one side that has a front butt.
So when you press the button on his gut,
yeah,
he spins his legs around.
Can I also say that when he is man face, his hands are backwards?
Well, no, they're supposed to.
Oh no, there's only one that's backwards.
No,
oh no, they go no. Yeah,
they switch. You can do either or.
Can you?
So his legs.
So he just. Oh no, he has 6 fingers.
Yeah, because they had to add
extra
fingers.
No, he has 6 fingers. He's not supposed to have 6 fingers. So he has 2 thumbs on each hand. This is like that. Did you ever see Gattaca?
No.
All right, I really like the movie Gattaca, and I do recommend you watch it. It's really fucked up. So Gattaca is like when people get to choose
how many fingers they want in their hand.
Yes, and there is a scene where there's a piano player who's playing the piano, and he throws his glove into the audience, and I can't remember who the woman is in that movie. Plays the lead.
Uma Thurman.
Yes, Uma Thurman. She gets it and she puts it on and it has an extra and she goes, you can only play that piece with 6 fingers. And it's horrifying.
Can I say this?
Horrifying.
If I was a pianist that was going to get a genetic alteration to get extra fingers, I would just have a hand that looked like a broom and just go.
That's the thing. His parents had to pick that.
Okay.
That's what's fucked up about that whole thing. Is
I guess I should watch Gattaca.
Yeah, his parents would have had to pick that, so he was born that way.
I guess I should watch Gattaca because I could be somebody who walks in there and just goes, "Give me the Adam Power."
Oh God!
Give me the Power Lord. That's what I want.
This guy's got 12 fucking fingers, 2 thumbs on each hand, but only 1 ass.
Yeah, that's right. He only has 1 ass and 1 dick. So it depends on whatever side, you're using.
So, like, you're into, like, if I'm into this blue guy with red, creepy John Cena veins, like...
Oh, man, is this the evolution of John Cena? He kind of has John Cena now hair.
This is terrifying. Oh my god. How much did you spend on this thing?
Oh, probably like $8.
Okay.
I didn't spend that much. It's like, well, it's not even in the best condition because there's
$45. Oh my god.
If I'm spending $45 on anything that is for my gimmick collection, just tell me. Just call the cops.
All right, done.
Call the cops.
Sir, my husband is spending his own money on things. He told me to call the police.
Can you please lock him up and away from his Atom Power collection?
Well, that's fucking terrifying, and I'm really upset to know that it exists.
Well, that's what we're basing this comic book on.
Oh.
So, because basically on one side he looks like
a guy.
Well, I don't know. What do you say? Who does he look like here?
I mean, he just looks like a generic white guy.
Yeah, definitely looks like a British guy.
He's like Whitey McWhite, and but he just is wearing like an orange uniform that's that very 80s, like, we are science fiction.
Yeah, it's a very science fiction orange uniform, but then you flip him around, for some reason...
Only his chest, though.
His chest, though, becomes engorged with red veins, and his skin is blue, and he's got like a red... he's kind
of got like a cat nose. What's going on? Like in the comic, his dad kind of looks feline, and I don't know if that's intended.
His nose is flat.
Yeah, his features do change.
It looks like a very this character looks like a very 80s Doctor Who kind of thing.
Yeah, I could see it.
So basically that's what we're dealing with here.
You know what that blue guy kind of looks like? And I'm going to totally mess this up because I don't actually know what this guy is called. He's on a Star Trek or a Deep Space Nine, and his features are kind of...
Quark?
Yes.
He's a Ferengi?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
He does have Ferengi-esque face.
Yeah, where he has like a Ferengi face where everything's kind of like super flattened out.
Yes.
And the hair's back and he's got no eyebrows. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, no.
Yeah. He looks like that guy.
Quark. So this was a toy line back in the 80s. I remember having this as a kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I do not remember this
I probably bought this at the Thruway Mall.
Probably.
In Cheektowaga. Picked that up. Mm-hmm. And, because this came out 83, 84.
Sure.
Why my parents decided it was okay for me to have an Atom Power around this time.
Because they were just like...
Or maybe it was on cheap. And they were getting... Because probably by the time I got it, it was like $3 at KB Toys. My parents were like, here's a toy.
Right.
But I definitely remember having this, and I remember having maybe one other thing here. Mm-hmm. Oh, and I'll show you later.
Okay.
I don't have my thing now, but...
Oh God, do you have another one of these?
No, because there was...
Does it have another front ass?
Well, I gotta... You know what, here? You know what? I'm gonna see if I can find this picture here. Because they
I'm
had...
gonna start screaming. I'm gonna see it, and it's going to...
It's not that horrible.
It's going to give me nightmares.
It's not that horrible.
Not many things keep me up at night, but knowing I'm under the same roof with whatever that is going to scare me for the rest of my day.
So they also had these things. They were like... He-Man men, but also tanks.
That's not nearly as terrifying.
But those things, look at that. I mean, that's like, can you imagine like...
That really is just like He-Man's upper body stuck on a tank.
Yeah.
You had this?
No, but I remember it.
You don't have one now, do you?
No, I don't. I don't even know where I could find one of these.
What are they even called?
Well, this one's called Savor.
He-Man tanks?
He-Man, yeah, I would just call them He-Man tanks.
Call them Hanks.
I have the tank.
Because they're He-Man tanks. And then Tom Hanks will sue you. He's got nothing else to do, apparently. Just give him a typewriter. It'll be fine.
Ooh, here's how it is. How about I make that guy, but give him a Tom Hanks head and a typewriter body?
Nope.
because Hollywood's about to remake the Power Lords,
yes,
in the movie, and Tom Hanks is going to play
chomping at the
cyborg typewriter man.
Chomping at the bit.
This is a hot property nobody is using right now.
You better try to get the rights to this, because obviously
I should tie a brick to this and then throw it through DC's. Throw it through like fucking.
Is that how you get rights to things?
Yes, that's how Hollywood is made.
You just tie bricks to the things you want the rights to and throw it at people.
Or if you want things made, you go, I want this.
Yeah.
You throw it at WB.
What, at the water tower?
At the water tower, because then the Animaniacs get them, and then they
so
take
I was going to say, if you hit the water tower, is that how they decide what's going to be?
But you have to get it inside. There's a certain spot where you can get inside the water tower. You throw it inside the water tower. If you don't, it just falls and hits Conan in the head.
That's why his hair looks like
That's why his hair looks all messed
he
up.
actually has just like a bump from being hit in the head so many times. He has to style his hair over it.
All these wannabe writers throwing bricks for their rights. Yeah. See, hey, we lived in L.A. We saw this happen.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
Anyway, so Adam Power on the cover, he is not in his blue form. He is just in his regular Doctor Who spaceman form. And
just regular dude form.
And
form.
He is running away, and he's being attacked by these the bad guys of Adam Power.
Lords of Doom or whatever the fuck.
The Lords of Doom, basically.
That's a great name. I mean,
I think it's the Lords of Doom. We'll find out.
Leela's going to come sniff that thing because she is also scared.
Yeah. And they're like, don't worry about Adam Power. He's finished. And Adam Power basically looks like he's getting like severed in half by like an energy blast.
Yeah.
So we start off with...
and this is volume 1, right?
This is issue 1, yes.
Did we say what date and all that?
Oh, yeah. No, December 1983.
Okay.
And we start off with this first story is called To the Victor of the Universe. And we have a... and so there's a woman who looks like an owl, but she
also kind of looks like
a lady face.
Yeah, well, she kind of looks like an owl. She kind of looks like Owl Man.
Yeah, she's definitely got like a very owl out. It's an owl outfit.
But she also kind of looks like if you had like a Davy Crockett hat, but just like a lot of it. So instead of wearing like a raccoon cap.
Oh, she's wearing like an entire owl?
Yeah, I mean, like, she just like carved out an owl and just shoved it on her head.
Yeah. She's wearing the Tootsie Roll owl.
Oh, yeah. She's like, I'm sick of this commercial.
What is her name?
She also kind of has like a very like Farrah Fawcett. It kind of gives her like a Farrah Fawcett hair flip look.
Yeah, it does.
Like look to her. So she is in space and she's driving her little car and she's trying to escape from these green monstery bug things.
Yeah, there's
they're like lizards, but they have like ant pinchers for mouths.
Yeah, they're like these booger monsters that are chasing her, and she she's out maneuvering them, and
she's like, I can always do this, and she has like laser blasters, and she's like blowing shit up.
Yeah.
And she is on her way.
I don't know why she's thinking about this. Like, she's like, what I should do is this. And then she does it. It's like, just fucking do it.
This comic book is not written very well.
No, it's not.
I get very upset later on.
Oh, okay.
With the number of times the lead character's name is mentioned in speech bubble.
Well, we're trying to get him over. Look at his toys. We got to get him over.
I don't need to read his name that many times.
So she is a Tauranian. And she is being chased by the Trigor Squadron.
Sure, whatever.
Or something. And they got these mandibles. And, on their ships. And which basically what she does, she pulls off one last maneuver. And she essentially just time warps to Earth.
Our good old Earth where everybody gets sent. So we're at an observatory.
I think this is the Griffith Observatory.
It could be. It definitely looks like one.
Definitely could be.
It could be. There's also one in Hawaii that kind of looks like that.
Oh, okay.
We also get a lot of ads for morning cartoons in here.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
Which I love. We have a Monchichi ad.
Oh, man, Monchichis. Did you ever have a Monchichi?
No, but Susie had Monchichi. And you want to know what their names were? Monchichi.
Yeah.
Because Susie never named anything. She just called them what they were called. So there was literally like Monchichi 1 and Monchichi 2.
Oh, also, here's the littles. There's with these kids with tails.
Oh, I think I remember that.
I remember that too. Yeah, and Pac-Man.
And then Menudo. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't forget about Menudo. So now Adam Power is
working as an assistant in this laboratory for this old man who just talks to him and belittles him constantly and literally uses his name in every sentence.
I don't understand.
I would like to murder this man.
He kind of like talks to him as if like he's like, look.
He talks down to him.
He talks down to him. He's like, look, I don't know why I hired you.
Yeah. He's like, you don't have any education. I don't know why I hired you. You are a young person and therefore stupid.
But you're hiring him to
it's just
like
like
be
having
in front of all these buttons.
Yeah, it's just like having Fox News on in the background. Just like, ooh, fuck millennials, fuck young people. They don't understand. That's just basically what this guy's doing.
Well, this is the height of Reagan, so we're definitely like, it's like, it'd be great if we
fuck
just
Gen X.
We just had a bunch of cranky old men yelling at Gen Xers.
Yeah.
And calling them stupid. And so anyways, Adam Powers, he's like, yo, I think there's something weird going on outside. And
he's like, bah.
And the doctor's like, whatever.
Adam, you don't know anything, Adam. Adam, you know nothing. Adam, I'm going to go home.
At one point, he's like,
it drives me fucking crazy. Because then she starts doing it too. Anyway, continue.
So he, well, at one point he's like, look, there's like a spaceship. Maybe we might have seen something really cool. And the doctor's just like, oh, maybe it's an alien. Why don't you go be a fucking alien?
Yeah, he literally starts mocking him. He's like, hey, that was like really weird. That like whatever her ship was doing, it picked up on their thing. And he was like, that was really weird. It's this anomaly. It could have been a bunch of different things. But, it kind of sounded like communication. He's like, oh, yeah, what if it's an alien? Oh, yeah, what if it's my ass flying around the sky, Adam? Like, he's just
Look
mocking
at that, that's my ass.
Yeah, my ass flies too, you fucking young kid.
Look at that. Is that a fart?
I'm going to go home and drink prune juice.
Is that a space fart? Go fuck yourself, Adam Power.
Go fuck yourself, young person.
He's like, you have a gut level instinct for astronomy like no man I've ever met. That's why I made you my assistant. Remember, even though you came to me 3 years ago without a single scholarly credit and not so much as one measly academic degree to your name. Go to DeVry, motherfucker.
Go to the University of Phoenix.
Oh man, is this a commercial for University of Phoenix?
Sure.
Yeah, this guy sucks.
Because he's such a fucking snob. He's an asshole. Nobody wants to hang out with him.
So I want to point out this next panel here on the side here.
The leg panel?
Because, okay. So what the idea is that we're going over the course of three
separate moments.
Separate moments of panels, three separate panels here, each of which is showing Adam from the waist down. But we're just kind of doing his entire.
So like the top panels shows like his waist
holding a clipboard.
The second one shows his knees, and the third one shows his shoes that kind of boots.
Yeah, he's just wearing his shoes or whatever, and then but the whole time we see the doctor or his boss like talking to him. But it's panning down even though the doctor is staying like the same size.
Yeah.
It's weird. So anyways, he starts having like he's like an amnesiac.
Yeah, because he's like, I have amnesia, and every time I start trying to figure out like what's going on with my amnesia, I start seeing these like really violent images of like battles and war and stuff.
On a quart or something.
Yeah, I don't like it. It sucks. So the asshole left, and now Adam is here by himself, and he sees this like bright light coming right towards the observatory and like getting closer. And he's like, oh shit, I'm going to go outside and figure out what's going on because it looks like it's going to hit us, but it also like looks like a spaceship. And then he's like, no, that doesn't make any sense. So he's like trying to talk himself out of it. He's like runs outside, and yes, it's the spaceship.
And then he runs outside, and the spaceship lands right here, and out comes
whatever her name is.
What is her name?
Owl lady.
She's got to have a name.
Sayura? No.
Did she even tell her name?
Yeah, it's like Shaya.
Oh, Shaya. Okay, Shaya.
Something like that.
So she comes out. So Shaya comes out, and she's like, Adam.
He's like, how do you know my name? And she's like, Adam, don't worry. Adam, I totally know your name. Adam, get in the car. Adam, we got to get out of here. Adam. And I'm just like, I hate you.
She's like, let's get out of here because now there's a booger monster coming. Apparently those booger monsters with the pinchers come.
Yeah, and they literally like blow up the observatory.
It blows up the observatory. It blows up Griffith Observatory.
Uh-huh.
So all of
Sorry,
Rebel Without a Cause people that really enjoyed the history of that movie because it's no longer there.
Yep.
And she's basically like, Shaya's like, look, we got to like,
yeah,
get away.
I got to take you to this place because you're not an Earthling. You're like me. By the way, here's this crystal I have for you. And this part I don't quite understand.
Oh, here's where she finally tells. You know what? It takes her like like a half hour to tell her her actual name.
Right. But here's the thing that I don't understand about this either is because, like, so she also has, like, a different appearance.
Yeah.
But not all the time. So she probably has a front butt, too. I don't know why she's changing into it here and then it goes away because she's still driving the thing. So she takes her, like, this crystal and hands it to him and she becomes like kind of like a red tornado wearing an owl costume.
Yeah, she kind of changed it.
And he's like, you don't look like you anymore. And she's like, and now I do. And you're like, all right. What?
So basically, she's like, "Look, I'm a member of the planet. I'm from the planet Toron. You are, and just like you, I'm a member of the hereditary power caste.
Yeah, and don't worry, you're a prince.
You're a prince.
We'll get into that later.
And this jewel will help you basically like figure your shit out.
And I know I look fucking weird. It's cool. Don't worry about it.
And she wait
till you see you.
She puts the jewel on his head, and then he starts like seeing like
then the
history of this planet. And there's like 3 suns on this planet, and the Terranians are
and it was like a great place, but oh no, then there was war.
Everybody wore weird hats. Yeah, and they also drank. Here's like a wine mixer here. They're all walking around with these weird goblets.
Yeah.
There's just a guy with a. I don't know how's that guy drinking over there.
I don't know. It's a great place. Great place to be.
Got a goblet, but he doesn't even have a face. He's just wearing like a full face helmet.
No, maybe that thing slides up. Like one of those like night things.
Oh, is it like that episode of Brave and the Bold where Dr. Fate was eating chips and he just hit the side of his helmet and just went shh.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And then we've got another ad in here for some more
these are
NBC ones. We've got some Mr. T, some Smurfs, some Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Some Spidar Man. Yeah.
So yeah, this is where we find out like, you know, she's like a protector and his parents were royalty. And
so all these people were blue. The royalty were blue.
Yeah.
There were these blue motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Who were like
but not always blue. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, no, since they're the power lords, since they're like the highest caste.
But this is what I don't get because he turns blue later, right? And then he turns back into his human self. So I don't know. Maybe they have that option. Only blue when he uses his power. Like if they're going to battle, like because she looks
I think that's the impression
right now.
Yeah,
but she doesn't later, and I don't know.
I think that's the impression is that she changes. They change when they use their powers that bestowed to them, whatever.
Sure. Whatever.
And so
they're glowing swords. They've been overtaken.
They've been overtaken by the Trigors, which is a bunch of aliens from the planets Krondar, Morda, and Zomar.
Sure.
And all these gobbledygook aliens show up, and they basically caught them off guard. So they killed his parents, and they sent him off.
Yeah, they whatever her name is, Shea gets like a gun, but it's like a particle explodey. It's kind of like it does what the thing in Star Trek does, where it like
it's a phaser.
It de-solidifies you and moves you somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah, like, she basically...
and she's like, I'm going to zap you and I'm going to send you to Earth because it's an inhabitable planet.
Yeah.
And I will be psychically connected to you.
They have Twinkies there, and you can our people survive on Twinkies. That's one thing we didn't tell you.
Yeah, but I'll be psychically connected to you, and so I'll be able to come get you. And he's like, no, but I want to stay here and like fight this battle. And his father, and like if you turn the page, you get to see like a close up of his dad where he really looks like a cat.
Oh, this here?
Yeah.
Look like a cat. That's a normal nose.
He looks like a cat.
So basically, though, they're being the bad guys are they're from these 3 planets. You have Arcus, the crab creature from Krondar. This is the name I don't quite understand. Griptog.
Sure.
Griptog.
Yeah.
But Griptog, there's 2 G's before. It's like GG grip. So it's like Griptog. And he's from Zomar, and then there's Rhaegoth, who I also remember having as an action figure.
Mm-hmm.
Rhaegoth has a shiny chest.
Okay.
And he is the Goon of Doom.
Goon of Doom.
Goon of Doom from whatever the other planet is. And they're the Extraterrestrial Alliance. Basically, it's the Axis powers of monster aliens. And then they basically fuck up the Taurian planet. The Cat King is like, Adam, go to whatever, go to Earth, and Shia shoots him with the gun, and that's just as he's being phased out.
He sees his mother get killed.
Sees his mom get killed, and
he's like, no.
And it's like he's like, oh,
yeah.
It's like he's coming.
It really does. It's really upsetting.
So there's this part here though where after he gets all these memories from this jewel, and then he just kind of gets all swole, and then he goes, "Great guns, my body."
Yeah. I know. I really enjoy that part.
And I want to say,
I think he's just talking about his arms. He's like, bought tickets to the gun show.
Yeah. He's like, look at these great guns.
Yeah, my body. Hot.
That's one of these days.
Front ass.
Oh, yeah. He's like, oh my God, like, great gunt. My body. Well, it's kind of gross the way that he's drawn here because he has, like, so apparently an Atom Power, Tauran guy. And I don't know if his father had this problem, but apparently he's got, like, these huge varicose veins. Yeah, all over him.
He's weird,
and the way that they're drawn, they're just so juicy.
Yeah, it's kind
of like.
Yeah, it's upsetting.
He is juicing, and then he just kind of flies out of this cockpit and passes through. So like the girl and the Shia's like, ha ha, all right.
Yeah, he's back.
He's back. And so he.
Why the fuck did it take you 3 years to find me? Whatever.
And he just goes into space and just starts punching these monsters.
Yeah, so they do that. Then he gets back in the car, and then he's human again.
Yeah.
Which, okay.
Well, the jewel is fading and returning into his human form. So if the jewel is the source of my powers, then why didn't my father just teleport the jewel along with me? And she's like, well, your father, the jewel, creates a telepathic link between, you and the people of the planet. So if you had that jewel, you would feel the death of all your people.
Okay.
So that's why he didn't.
Sure.
He couldn't get juiced.
Sure.
So
they like go to this like planetoid thing where I guess she's just like has her hideout.
Yeah. So basically their hideout, and this was this actually was a play set. You can get a play set.
Oh man.
Of
so this is like He-Man's castle.
This is basically like a shitty He-Man.
Well, yeah, I mean, they were just all trying to do the He-Man after He-Man was so big.
Do the He-Man. So, so basically she's like, yeah, that's not a volcano. That's like a rock with like...
It's where I live.
I live under the rock. I live under the rock.
But like, it's not on because I need your power or something?
Yeah, she needs like a power lord to juice it up. So she
turn on the lights.
Yeah, so she takes
Somebody needs to pay the power bill, basically.
It's like, I need your credit card.
She's like, your name, the account's in your name. They won't talk to me.
Power Lord, Western Union will need to transfer you some money. But she's like, look, you need to go and like set this thing up and get this whole gimmick explanation. I don't really.
Whatever.
There's just a lot of like weird space shit going on in here.
Spaceship, a lot of talking, a lot of saying his name over and over again. So he turns blue and he like zaps the power box with his hand, like the fuse box, and it turns on and she's like, yay, and they hug.
Yeah, he's kind of like excited for this thing, and I'd just be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, he doesn't. Yeah. He seems kind of comfortable with this situation already.
I don't know. Maybe now he remembers. Yeah. So it doesn't matter.
I remember when I was a veiny baby.
Ew, a veiny baby.
Veiny baby.
So then after he turns the power on, like, these people show up.
Yeah, this is when
the Doom Lords or whatever.
The Doom dips.
And they're like, oh no, and then they name all the Doom Lords. And
why is she like giving them, like, she already told them their names.
Yeah, she's like, oh no, it's whatever name. Oh no, it's whatever guy. And so then they start fighting.
Yeah, and and this is where she goes to shoot. She uses she has like a scimitar that's got juice on it.
Yeah, it's like glowy.
And it glows, and she shoots Rhaegoth in the chest. And since he has a shiny chest, then you're fucked. Because the shiny chest is gonna, basically like reflect off of that. Mm-hmm. So, and then, I mean, whatever exactly is Adam Lord's power set is not really defined.
It's not. It's just he has like a pink ray.
Well, he does pink rays, but here he's doing like the fucking Dark Force.
Yeah,
and he shoots Ray Goff in the face.
Yeah, I don't exactly know what it's supposed to do. It's just power.
And then he's got pink rays over here.
Yeah,
and he's like flying around, and it's like, you know, we're just like whatever. And then the crab one, Arcus, is like basically uses this fancy gun to incapacitate them.
Yeah,
and I think he kind of like just blips them out of existence.
I think he sends them to another dimension.
He sends them to another dimension because,
and that's the next book.
Yeah, and then next issue, Dimension of Doom. Don't you dare miss it.
Yeah,
don't tell me what to do, DC.
Sure.
And yeah, that's how this ends.
Yep. Nope.
She already answers the question I was going to ask her.
No, because I don't like how she's repeating his name. Everybody's repeating his name constantly. I get what we're trying to do, but it's really bad writing and it's really distracting.
Does the story make any sense? Like, you know, basically like the crux of it?
Yeah, I mean, the idea of it, sure, it's fine. It's just a pretty standard, like, you're a prince. Now you have to fight these guys.
You're a prince, Harry.
Yeah, and here's your defined villains.
Oh man, is this Harry Potter?
And your friends are going to fight against them, and this is what's going to sustain us for 6 seasons of this TV show so we can sell all these toys.
Oh, they didn't go very far.
Of course they didn't, but I mean, like, that was the idea.
Yeah, yeah.
So no, I get it. I understand. I mean, there's a little bit too much, like, talking and shit.
Yeah.
And shit dragging on about the backstory and this happened. And then we finally get to the fight at the end.
Well, you can tell what they're trying to do here is they're trying to like crank all this stuff into this.
Yeah, it's all world building.
They're trying to build this world as much as possible because they literally have 2 more issues after this to make you, you know,
want to watch the TV show.
Whatever. I don't even think they had a TV show.
I mean, they must have been trying to get one, right? That's how
I'm certain that was in the books, but I'm certain everybody was like, this is too much like Dune. Let's not do it. Because this does have a very Dune feel to it, which is probably why I like it.
Sure, yeah.
You know, because it's just something where it's like weird, regular. Because like He-Man is like, you know, a bunch of muscular dudes, you know, and they all kind of they look like action figures. Like these, like this does not look like a.
No, but it does something, and that's what action figures had to do in the 80s.
But this is such a weird figure.
It is a weird figure.
Because
it's got a really long head and it should not be.
And he's got like reversible body.
And he has 6 fingers on each hand.
And he has a gun. Not many toys in the 80s had guns.
That's true.
I don't know. I mean, you couldn't get...
I mean, I don't keep a tally of gunt figures. Maybe I should.
My dad didn't go in the store and was like, hey, Sean, look, this one has a gunt. You know?
Excuse me, my son would like the gunt figure. Any and all figures with guns.
I'm surprised that wasn't. That's surprised. You know, if I worked in a toy store, KB store in the 80s, I'm surprised. You know, that would be that would be a welcome inquiry. Just to be sitting there and just have like a parent walk in. It's like, my son wants the gunt figure. So it used to be like when people used to come in to the store, into the record store I used to work at, and they used to be. And literally, one woman just walked in. She goes, "Christopher Walken dancing."
Oh, that song?
It's like, thankfully, I knew what she was talking about because she was talking about that
Fat Boy Slim
video or whatever. But, you know, she obviously wants to talk, but it's like, but that's all they know. Like, they only know the base thing of it.
Yeah, that was when I was working at Barnes & Noble.
Yeah.
That was like, people would come up to me and they'd be like, I want a book. I think it's about a mouse, but it's about management. And you're like, who moved my cheese? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, okay. And so there's a lot of that going on. I saw a book and it's blue.
My cheese.
It's blue. Do you know anything else about it? No, but it's blue. And you're like, okay, well, we have many blue books. Can't help you.
Take to the blue book section. You know, why doesn't Barnes & Noble just categorize their stuff by color?
I've actually seen like tables set up like that where there's a sign above it says, I want a book and it's blue, or like it's red or whatever, and it just has all blue books on it.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
Actually, that's a great way to sell books. It's like, you know, do you know what color this book is? Great. It might be here.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I have the rest of these issues though. This is one of the books that I got from, Mile High that were discounted.
Oh, that's right. On sale.
Because like, you know, these, you don't really find these out there very often. I was going to buy these on eBay, but I was like, you know, it was like the prices were.
Did you buy all 3 of them?
Yeah.
Oh.
So now I could get the full saga.
With full experience with your Power Lord. You're going to hold that toy.
I might.
And you're going to read these books.
I might. I might have it sitting next to me.
Are you going to like give him a little cup of coffee and like put
I don't know. How's he going to hold it with his 6 thumbs?
I mean, that would don't you think it'd make holding things easier if you had like 6 or 2 thumbs on each hand? Oh. You'd be like fucking Hunter S. Thompson or whatever and get yourself a 2-thumbed fist.
Wait, did he have 6 thumbs?
No, he had like a thing where that was like a symbol, and then he wanted like his ashes shot out of like a fist with 2 thumbs, like, and they were shot into the sky.
He's a weird guy.
Yeah, well, he's dead. So he needed a lot of drugs. And that would probably explain a lot of it.
Is this a Hunter S. Thompson action figure?
You know, there probably is one somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't look like that, but...
I bet, like, Halloween Town sells
it probably just looked like Johnny Depp in Fear and Loathing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Johnny Depp should play this guy.
You know, he would probably go so method that he gets stem cells and actually grow 2 more thumbs.
Oh, ooh, and an extra face.
An extra face.
It's like, ooh, I got a blue face on my back now. Hi, I'm Johnny Depp. Johnny, we haven't seen you around the Viper Room in a while. Oh my God! Why do you look like that?
You're like, how are your horrible money troubles going? Terrible? All right.
You spent your entire fortune
to look like this, huh?
To look like Adam Power because of the Adam Power movie that's going to make all this money back for you. Hey.
This just sounds like the
It's like, well, I don't know. Movie. Some guy just threw the action figure tied to a brick through Warner
through my
Brothers.
window in Paris.
Through my window, yeah. He threw it through Paris, and I was like, I guess I got to do this.
We're gonna go to Paris, and we're gonna throw this through Johnny Depp's window, so he will method into this action figure, so Sean can watch the Power movie.
Oh God, oh God, you could. I'm just thinking about him.
All of this is terrible.
Yes. This is terrible. Well, that's it for this week's show. Thanks for listening, folks. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Angry Hero Sean.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram. You can find us on Facebook, Worst Collection Ever, and email the show, worstcollectionever@gmail.com.
And, of course, please rate, review, subscribe wherever you get this show. You could do that on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, wherever it is that you download your shows. We would really appreciate that. And tell your friends.
Yeah.
That is a big
We're
big
funny.
help.
We talk about guns.
Yeah, we try to slip in a gun reference at least once an episode.
That's the new ad for this podcast. Talks about guns.
Just that's our new description.
Yeah, that's all it says.
I think it should just be guns. But that's it for this week's show. Thanks for listening, folks, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Bye.